Rome is known as a cradle of civilization, famous for its laws and monuments. The Roman Empire's power was built on control and military strength. Roman roads facilitated military movement and trade. The empire expanded through conquest and strategic alliances. Rome's beginnings were marked by fragility and vulnerability. Survival depended on strict discipline and order. Maintaining order was crucial to prevent societal chaos. Chaos would threaten the very existence of the early Roman state. Therefore, discipline was not just a preference, but a necessity. Order ensured the state's preservation and growth. Roman law defined social standing. It determined who held importance. Citizenship was not automatic. It was conditional and controlled. Roman citizens had specific obligations within the Roman system. One key obligation was the payment of taxes to support the state. Another crucial duty was military service when required. These obligations demonstrated their commitment to Rome. Rome's conquests relied on strategic systems, not solely on military force. Conquered cities were integrated into the Roman system. Local customs were often tolerated. This tolerance helped maintain loyalty among conquered populations. Systematic absorption minimized resistance and fostered stability. This approach facilitated long-term control and expansion of the empire. Roman roads were strategically constructed to facilitate control over vast territories. These roads enabled rapid troop movement for the Roman legions. They also expedited the delivery of messages across the empire. Faster communication helped quell potential rebellions more effectively. The road network was a key tool for maintaining order and Roman authority. The Roman army emphasized discipline and methodical approaches in warfare. Their success relied on coordinated formations rather than individual acts. Formation and coordination were key to achieving victory. Individual heroism was secondary to the army's overall strategy. Roman military formations relied on strict discipline and cohesion for battlefield effectiveness. Individual soldiers were expected to maintain their position within the formation at all times. Breaking formation created gaps and vulnerabilities that the enemy could exploit. Obedience to orders was prioritized over individual acts of bravery or initiative. A soldier leaving his designated spot endangered not only himself, but the entire unit. Maintaining formation integrity was crucial for the survival and success of the Roman army. The Roman Empire maintained peace through military presence. Soldiers were strategically placed to influence citizen behavior. This presence deterred potential uprisings and rebellions. Compliance was often more economical than resistance. The cost of rebellion outweighed the benefits for most citizens. Thus, military strength ensured relative peace within the empire. Public executions served as a form of punishment in the past. These events were intentionally public to maximize their impact. A key goal was to deter potential offenders through fear. Executions were designed to instruct the populace. The spectacle aimed to discourage crime by showcasing consequences. Roman justice was highly dependent on social status. Citizens faced formal trials to determine guilt or innocence. Slaves, lacking legal rights, often faced immediate execution. The legal system prioritized societal stability above all. Equality under the law was not a primary objective in Rome. Slavery was a fundamental aspect of the Roman economic system. Millions of individuals were enslaved and denied basic human rights. Enslaved people provided labor that supported the Roman economy. Their forced labor contributed to the comfort and prosperity of others. The exploitation of enslaved people was integral to the Roman social structure. The system was built upon the subjugation and forced labor of a large population. Ancient Rome developed a sophisticated bureaucratic system. This system used censuses to track population and resources. Detailed records were kept for administrative purposes. Contracts were formalized and meticulously documented. Tax collection was organized and enforced efficiently. The Roman Senate's power shifted from military leaders to civilian administrators. This transition marked a change in societal values and priorities. The emphasis moved from battlefield prowess to bureaucratic efficiency. Loyalty was redefined. Compliance with rules became paramount. Courage and martial skill were no longer the primary measures of allegiance. Rome practiced tolerance of diverse cultures within its empire. However, Rome did not grant equality to these diverse cultures. All cultures under Roman rule were subject to Roman authority. This authority maintained order and Roman dominance. The Roman Empire generally permitted diverse religious beliefs within its borders. This tolerance was extended as long as these beliefs did not undermine societal unity. Acceptance of various faiths was common, reflecting a pragmatic approach to governance. However, the empire strictly prohibited any form of religious disobedience. Practices or doctrines perceived as threats to public order were not tolerated. Therefore, loyalty to the state took precedence over individual religious expression. Even Roman emperors faced constraints within the established political system. The Roman power structure was complex, influencing even the most powerful individuals. Assassination was a frequent occurrence in Roman imperial history. It served as a means of addressing perceived imbalances or injustices. Assassination was viewed as a form of systemic correction. It was not necessarily a sign of complete chaos, but rather a brutal form of political adjustment. Rome demonstrated a remarkable capacity for adaptation throughout its history. When existing systems proved inadequate, they were systematically replaced. This constant evolution ensured the empire's continued functionality. Organizational efficiency was prioritized over individual enthusiasm. Structured processes were valued more than acts of personal heroism. This emphasis on order and structure was key to Rome's success. As the Roman Empire expanded, maintaining loyalty at the borders became difficult. The empire's administrative systems were strained by its vast size. This strain led to a weakening of overall control and cohesion. Rome responded by increasing military presence and tightening border enforcement. Inflexible systems can lead to collapse. The Roman Empire weakened over time. Its structure thinned and cracked, leaving behind ruins and stories. Rome left behind roads, laws, and architecture. However, its greatest legacy may be a warning. This warning concerns the cost of order. Maintaining order can come at a high price. Rome's history serves as a cautionary tale. Civilization and freedom are distinct concepts, not interchangeable. Order can be established and maintained without necessarily ensuring justice. A society can be stable without exhibiting compassion or empathy. These elements, justice and compassion, are not intrinsic to order. The Roman civilization understood this separation of concepts well. Rome prioritized order and stability, sometimes at the expense of justice. If you enjoyed exploring history beyond the myths, consider subscribing for more documentaries like this. Thank you for watching.